Good day, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Youth on the Mic. And I'm your host, Baba Izulai Al-Amiri. Today, I have here two distinguished guests. We have here the CEO and the founder of CHOWZONE, and we have here the student leader and the peace advocate. Please can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thanks for having me here. My name is Agbabiaka Afolorunsho Agbabiaka. So I'm honored to be here today, and I'm very happy to be part of this great exercise. This is the first session of podcast that I made. So my name is Ibrahim Tanmola, an aspiring diplomat and a peace scholar.
Thank you. We are glad for having you on our first episode of this podcast session. So today we'll be discussing about entrepreneurship as a pathway to youth development, because we have here an entrepreneur, Mr. Aziko, and I'll be discussing about the role of leadership in shaping the future of the youth, because we have here a student leader and a peace advocate. So firstly, Mr. Aziko, as a founder, so let's discuss about the entrepreneurship as a pathway to youth development.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Mr. Alhamid.
Thank you, sir.
So from the topic, which is entrepreneurship as a pathway to youth development. As a biochemistry graduate from Crawford University, there's one thing we always know in biochemistry, which is pathways. Pathways are the biosynthesis or the build-up of biomolecules. So in the terms of the entrepreneurship as a pathway to youth development. So I said in this term, I'll be using entrepreneurship as an enzyme that catalyzes a positive reaction in youth development. So moving forward, anybody hearing entrepreneurship, assume that it's about becoming a CEO, owning a company, or making money or profit. Beyond that, entrepreneurship is having that mindset and taking full responsibility. That is finding solutions to problems around you. Having that mindset, then entrepreneurship becomes business.
Thank you. I enjoyed your explanation concerning entrepreneurship, because everywhere we just see entrepreneurship as input and have the output in multiple folds. So thank you for that explanation. Over to you, Mr. Tanmola, as a student leader and a peace advocate. So concerning the role of leadership in shaping the future of the youth, what can you say about the role of leadership?
Thank you very much, my humble host. That's a very good question.
You're welcome.
So I would like to start with the definition of leadership itself. Globally, leadership does not have a definition that is globally agreed on. We have scholars with their own definitions. International organizations have their own definition. But there's a particular definition that I find somehow very interesting. Okay? And it goes on. So it says that leadership is the ability to inspire others towards achieving a goal. When we talk about leadership in our society, the only thing people think about is political leadership and the idea of authoritarianism. That is not what leadership looks like. Leadership is the ability to inspire others towards achieving a goal. Might be from a mentor or someone, even your friend can be your leader. Your friend can aspire you to work towards achieving a goal. And before you know a good leadership, you must have some quality, because a good leader earns trust from his followers through competence. Most of the leaders we have today, they are just there because they give people money. Most of the leaders we have there today are there because they actually belong to a particular sect. This is one of the reasons why Nigeria as a country has been having issues when it comes to youth engagement in politics. So a good leader must earn his trust through capability, his competence, and how he commits himself to the service of the people.
That's very nice.
That is number one. So when we talk about how leaders fit the question again,
the role of leadership in shaping the future of the youth. So in what way?
When we talk about how leadership shape
the future of our youth,
there is a particular saying by this scholar John C. Maxwell, if I'm not mistaken. He said, a leader is a person who knows the way, goes the way, and then shows the way.
Who knows the way,
goes the way, and then shows the way. So before you can call yourself a leader, or before people can see you a leader, on that particular part where they want to see you as their mentor, that part must be a part that you yourself are personally see some challenges and find solutions to them before you can call yourself a leader. That is number one. And then it is very significant. I mean, leadership is very significant in shaping
the future of
the youth in the areas, or should I say in the ways that it is that leadership that shapes the direction of the youth. You know, I said it earlier that leadership is a leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So if we find our youth in an environment whereby everybody is encouraging, should I say, the idea of abusing drugs, rape, and every other thing. If you look at that environment, majority of those youth who are involved in those activities grew up in an environment whereby their leaders who knows the way have also been on that way. They know that way, they go to that way, and they show it to them. So it's turn it positive, it's turn it to the right path. It makes it very interesting for them. I want to talk about the positive aspect too. When we mention the level of successful youth, you will see that majority of these youth have mentors who have gone through the right way. They know the way, they go the way, and then show the way. So that is, I think that's a very good example for us to know how that shapes the future of the youth. So if we have good leaders in our society, it will help, because the values, mentorship, and everything that is being passed from this generation to the next generation will help the growth of leadership in our society. Okay, looking at society today, when you look at the youth, majority of them are into cultism, majority are into drug abuse and some other illegal activities. It does not start today. This same bad activity that I'm talking about was passed down from the last generation to this generation. And if you are not careful, if you don't have good leaders in this generation, the same activities will be passed to the next generation, and it will continue like that. So I think in that is my own view. That's very good. Thank you, Mr. Tanmola, for that great explanation. So coming back to this, Mr. Adiko, the founder and the CEO of CHOWZONE, concerning entrepreneurship. Now you said it the other time that you are a graduate of biochemistry, but now you are not working as a biochemist presently. You prefer to venture into entrepreneurship for now. So in this way, does this mean that our school system is failing the youth already? While we have a lot of youth venturing into tech, venturing into being an entrepreneur, into being an innovator, why do we not have a lot of youth trying to be like, I want to continue as a doctor, I want to continue? Because now in our system we have many youth, we have many graduates, we have many masters carrying along with their CV without seeing a place to work, a preferable place to work. Now, what can you say concerning that? Did our school system fail the youth? That's why the reason why they venture into entrepreneurship. Thanks for that. That's a nice question. So firstly, I would like to say it is unfortunately that our educational system is depreciating. But nevertheless, it is something we need to take responsibility of. Earlier, you said I'm a biochemistry graduate. Yes. Beyond being a biochemistry graduate, I study life at the molecular level of biochemistry. Yeah, that has shaping me to be a researcher, identify problems. Because when you want to make a research as a biochemistry or in any scientific related courses, you have to identify a problem before you find a solution to it. So finding a problem, which I've mentioned, why defining what an entrepreneurship is, that you need to find a problem, you need to identify that problem, and taking the responsibility to solve that problem makes you an entrepreneur. Are you getting me now? Yes. So academics and entrepreneurship is something that goes in line from my own perspective. You need to be not like you need to be on like you need to have this knowledge, some certain knowledge about some certain things before you venture into things. You don't just venture into things without having at least some knowledge about it. Moving forward, I will only say we in our educational system should try to integrate entrepreneurship into what we are teaching in class, not just the practical aspect or the theoretical aspect, without showing us what we can actually make money from or beyond. We should just be taking what's it called, maybe laws of dynamics or this or that, but they show us the real world, what we are going to face after school, beyond just the exams that are sitting down in classroom to solve. So one of the privilege we had while as an undergraduate in Ghana State University is that we were able to offer a course named BTE, which has exposed us and equipped us with some little entrepreneurship training, which has been one of those criteria that has strengthened and structured me into venturing into what CHOWZONE is today.
That's very good and that's very impressive. So the reason why I asked that particular question is that, you know, in this our youth, we have many people, assuming you ask, you have 10 youth, you ask them, okay, should I give you 10 million naira or as a capital to start a business or to venture into entrepreneurship or to be an innovator, or I sponsor your education, BSc or masters. We have many, out of the 10, we have 8 that would like to give me that 10 million naira. Let me go and start my life because our education system has failed. That was the reason why I had that question. So when you were giving your explanation, you said something about you create problem, you identify problem and you find a solution. So I think that's also related to what Mr. Tanmola was saying the other time about leader. So definitely, can we say? So this question is for both of you now. So can we say a leader, an entrepreneur, is a leader?
Okay. Yeah, an entrepreneur is a leader because one of those things that has contributed to me being an entrepreneur is being a leader. Yeah, while I was an undergraduate, my undergraduate journey goes beyond just academic. I serve in different capacities. Yeah, and this has been one of those stuff that shaped me, like one of the qualities that contributed to why I'm becoming today. Yeah, you're able because you can't just be a leader. You can't lead thousands of students without having without studying academically. Yeah, and you like it's shaping your communication skills and the way you think. You get because being a leader, taking responsibility of leading many people will make you have to like think for these people. That is, what are those things you need to do to like what are those things you need to do for them like as if you're taking the responsibility as a leader. What are the steps you need to do that these people can benefit from? So you get so being entrepreneurship still is being a leader because you are taking a responsibility to identify a problem and solving it and providing solutions to those that are benefiting from it.
So, Mr. Tanmola, what can you say concerning this particular?
Mr. Asiko has made a very valid point, but we just like to add to what he has said. Just like I said earlier, that according to John C. Maxwell, a leader is someone who knows the way, goes the way, and then shows the way. So literally, when you talk about innovation, you're talking about entrepreneurship. And when you are talking about entrepreneurship, you are talking about leadership. Because even entrepreneurs are part of those, the youths that are into entrepreneurship. They are part of those that add to the sustainable development in our country.
Yes.
You know, when they do, as a leader, you have to like know the way, go the way, and show the way. In the case of entrepreneurs and innovators, when you are going to that way, you carry people along. You carry them along, you show them the way. When they work with you, they earn, and at the same time, they are becoming a leader. Because someone who has worked with Mr. Asiko as a founder at CHOWZONE would have had some experiences. And if he decides to open his own business, he would use the experience that he has learned from it. A very good example of that is, I think, Tosin and along that, the founder of Money Point. Money Point is an app that almost every one of us here use today. Exactly. This guy is an innovator. He has contributed to entrepreneurship through his own technological ideas. Yeah. People are working with him. Yes. Some people are working receiving salary, and some people are doing indoor activities. I'm talking about it. Another example is another practical example that is solely based on entrepreneurship is that of, I think, Akin Alabi. Yes. The one who founded Item7 is an entrepreneur and also a leader. Because even from I know of a friend who has once worked with Item7 and he decided to resign. And I asked that guy, the guy is actually a student of being a graduate. He has graduated about 3 years ago. Like, but why did you stop? He said, he has learned a lot, and I think it's time for him to start his own business. So when he said it's time for him to start his own business, I was like, okay, maybe he's going to venture into fashion because he actually learned fashion design, tailoring during when we were still in school, secondary school back then in Lagos. But to my surprise, I go back to Ilorin and this guy told me that Baba, not a teacher go don't get any money. So in one way or the other, the founder of Item7 rather has contributed to his own growth. So that is what we call leadership. So literally, entrepreneurs are innovators, and innovators are leaders.
So definitely, entrepreneurship and leadership are in one room together. They are working hand. So that's very, very interesting. So Mr. Aziko, so I want to ask you a popular question. That's the biggest mistake many youth are making in entrepreneurship.
Okay, fine. To answer that question, I would like to say most of our youth are not result driven. That is, what's it called? They want instant success. That is, you want to start working without being consistent and start aiming, which is not done that way. You need to trust the process before you start seeing results. That is, we want six figures, but you are not consistent for 6 years. You can't be consistent for 6 years. That is, you want to start making millions, but you don't want to put in the work.
I like that line. You want six figures, but you don't want to consistent for 6 years.
Okay, so these are the one of the mistakes you are making. But if you are result driven, that is, you believe in the process and you are consistent, you keep showing up every day, then definitely, what's it called? The success is slow, but definitely you're going to arrive at the result.
Wow, that's very impressive and amazing. Because now I love that line. I will keep it to my right hand. That you want six figures, but you don't want to be consistent for 6 years. So Sheikh, who knows tomorrow? So how does godfatherism works in youth association, in youth joint, in youth stuff like that? This godfatherism, the tendency is just saying it that the godfatherism is not working perfectly. It's all about negativity. So what do you see about godfatherism as a whole?
Thank you very much, my humble host. I think what you're trying to say is the relationship between leadership and godfatherism and how it affects the youth, maybe positively or negatively. That's actually a very good question, and it's a question that is somewhat critical. That even experts on that field sometimes try to find their way around it, and some stay away from it. But the fact that I'm not associated to any political party, I think I will be free to talk about it. But even with that, calm and task or not, like that. But I just want us to know that when we talk about leadership and godfatherism, these two concepts are something very close in governance, policy making, even sometimes in should I say entrepreneurship and public administration. You will find these two words because people are full of assumptions. Even though godfatherism exists, leadership on its own too exists. I said it earlier that leadership is about the ability to inspire others to work towards achieving a particular goal. And before you can be acknowledged as a good leader, you must earn the trust. A very good example of that is we have a particular leader here in Kwara State University, Comrade Aliyu Abdulkadir Odio. He is one of the best leaders I have known because he's not the type that enforces leadership. He does not encourage godfatherism. He's a leader that wants you to grow. It is his actions, like competence and what we've heard, what we've seen in him, that made us believe that this person is our mentor.
Our mentor is our leader. It's what we call a leader.
That is what leadership is all about. When you are not enforcing, when you are not enforcing for people to follow you or call you a mentor, that is leadership. And that kind of relationship must be very beneficial and fruitful. I think there's an hadith that says say they call me Khadim, like so that's the Islamic faith. What I'm trying to say is that it is a leader who serves that will be recognized and that will be used as an example for leadership. But fatherism on its own, I don't know, but I think the simplest form is that godfatherism is a process whereby someone uses his influence. We've explained leadership as an example. I'm trying to explain godfatherism. Godfatherism is a process where someone uses his wealth, experience, capacity, and everything he has to make sure you attain a particular position. Maybe a post in a public office or political, anywhere. That is what we call godfatherism. And the funny thing is that in leadership, in true leadership, you find mentorship. And in godfatherism, you also find mentorship. Do you know where the problem comes in? The problem comes in when your godfather, because leadership, a true leader will not ask you for anything in return. When he mentors, he will not ask you for anything in return. For example, while I was looking for a place to do my internship, so I reached out to Ambassador Razak Gidado, the very good brother, friend, and a mentor of mine. He's a diplomat and a peace scholar. So, okay, he was like, Tanmola, I don't know if you're able to do your internship in Abuja. I said, Oga, that Abuja, I don't have money. He said, okay, don't worry. He recommended Nigeria Institute of International Affairs, where I had the opportunity of meeting diplomats and giving roundtable discussion. So when we finished the whole thing, the day we finished the internship, I tested him, thanked him, and I wanted to post. I think I already posted. I posted something on my status where I mentioned his name.
Yes,
I was trying to appreciate, but immediately he said that, Tanmola, you have to put that thing down. And there was a particular part where he cut out and decided to share on a social media platform. You believe that the fact that Gidado shared that particular part and he mentioned my name on social media, I got followers on Instagram, and these people that follow me are not ordinary people. They are people who have likely mind with me. Those who were on the same path, experts on that field, and students like me. So I was able to connect with people. That is true leadership.
Some of you have been looking up to before.
Do you get it?
Yes.
So you understand? He did not get anything in return. But in the case of godfatherism, as soon as you are on that post, you always want something in return. So I would advise the youth, because I do tell people that godfatherism is something that we can reduce. It's not something we can eradicate totally. It has been in existence before we were even born. So godfatherism will be there for life.
Right from the start of politics.
So I will only advise the youth that before you call someone your leader, you should be able to differentiate between a godfather and a true leader. I think where the problem comes from most of the time is the idea that majority of us we don't know the difference between policy and structure. Nigeria as a country has its own policy. Every institution has their policy. But how those in charge choose to administer that policy is what we call structure.
Mm.
Whatever team you want to be with, whatever person you want to be with, whatever institution you want to work with, before you look into the policy, you look at the structure. Because the mistake we do is that, okay, this person is the leader, he has money, he has money from the company. You don't know how he does his thing. You don't know if he's a true leader or a godfather. So I would advise you to look out for true leader. And I do tell you that you can never know what you don't want to know.
You can never know what
What
you don't want
you don't want to know. If someone knows something today and people are like, this person is very brilliant, he knows that particular thing because he has made the decision in his mind, okay, this is what I want to know. If you are ready to learn to an extent whereby personally be able to differentiate between a true leader and a godfather, it will pave way for you. It will not be even hard for you to become a leader yourself, because leaders find joy in making men and not destroying them. Whenever we come across audio in any of our events, that is it. I do tell my people that even I know in the next few years I will not be here. If audio or some other people like Gidado in the next few years comes out and be like, okay, they want to represent the country. Even if audio says they want to become an emir tomorrow, I know by then I will have become probably someone very big inside. I will do everything in my capacity to support, because when we needed him the most, he was there, he was support, and he did not ask for anything in return. That is what true leadership is all about. So it is left for the youth. It is left for the youth to recognize the difference between true leadership and godfatherism. Because as youths, we don't even have the ability, we don't even have the capability, we don't even have what it takes to eradicate godfatherism. We can only reduce godfatherism. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for that explanation. We are coming to the end of this session. So before going, Mr. Aziko, what would you tell every young person out there in our audience about entrepreneurship?
What I would tell everyone out there is take action. As a youth, you need to be result driven. CHOWZONE didn't come to existence based on I want to like own a company. It comes into existence because I saw a problem and I feel like I need to take responsibility. So you get,
Yes.
so we should be result driven. We should take courses, learn about technological courses like AI automation, find like solutions to problems. Yeah. And basically with that you are result driven, definitely I'm saying definitely see results. And to our undergraduates, you don't need to like wait till after you graduate before you start winning. Get currently as an undergraduate, you can start doing some things. You can start doing some things and you'll be seeing the results.
That's very interesting and that's very excellently explained. So Sheikh Tanmola, so what will you tell every young youth there?
Before I say anything, Mr. Aziko, you feel a very strong blow at you. He said when he wanted to he said undergraduate. You are also going to be a graduate in that year, inshallah. So from my own end, if I'm to talk to the youth about leadership, I would advise, I'm also a youth, I would advise us generally to always dream beyond our capability. There is a difference between dreaming beyond your capacity and dreaming beyond your capability. Do things that no, like this is not what I'm supposed to be saying here, but let me just when we did the internship and some of my classmates, I'm very sorry I have to say this. Majority of them limited their fear to their ideas that okay, if I'm studying theory and complex solution, I really don't have anything to do with this, and they just end up as a police officer and end up as a civil defense. The move I made changed the way majority of them see what that course is all about. Because going there, it cost me a lot. Like the transportation from Cape Coast to Victoria Island is not something really easy. I'm not someone that actually likes corporate. I have to use my shoe. I have to get a new shoe. You know, but because I know what I'm going there for. Exactly. The dream was beyond my capability.
But you need to achieve it.
That is the first thing. And for them to like as you make sure you are always dreaming big things. When I talk, sometimes when I call my friends, okay, when we wanted to launch the Harmony Youth Initiative, I spoke to a particular person and he told me that do you know what it costs to run an initiative? We did the whole breakdown and everything. To this moment, we've not been able to do the financial aspect. But I can tell you guys that we've gone to schools, like engage with people. We've done different kind of should I say social seminars and social activities that have in one way or other impacted youth because we were inviting people that are expert on those things. So dream beyond your current situation. Some of us feel like okay, this is where I am today and you can never be there forever.
And don't limit yourself, don't limit your
And secondly, we must all acknowledge the rule of leadership that says it is always my fault. The reason of that is that I can't remember the scholar that said that. It says that the number one rule of leadership is that you must acknowledge the fact that it is always your fault. If you are a leader in a setting whereby you have 17 people working under you, and you are the leader, if you acknowledge that rule of law that it is always it is always my fault, you make sure that the other 17 people working under you are doing things the right way because you know that when the fault comes out, you be the one held them responsible.
Yes. Take the responsibility.
If you have that mindset and you start dreaming big, dreams that are even bigger than you, that even when you think of it, you laugh that bro, this is crazy. Can I do it? So I think that is the best way to start leadership, even from your own self within your mind. Start dreaming big. So I would say a very big thank you for giving us this opportunity because this is an historical event. We almost missed this, but I was like, okay, I like being part of this history. And if in the nearest future this podcast becomes something where we have the opportunity to invite presidents, senators, I'll be able to say proudly that
I was part of
my humble my Mr. Invilai and my humble self was the first guest on Invilai Babala podcast. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
And this comes to the end of this session. We thank Mr. Azuko for honoring our invitation, and we thank Mr. Tanmola for honoring our invitation. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and may God reward you abundantly. To our audience, thanks for watching the first episode of Youth on the Mic. I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you.